Did you know that one of the most iconic villains in cinematic history once dreamed of becoming a concert pianist? Or that he worked as a baker before conquering Hollywood? This is the story of Anthony Hopkins, a man who defied the odds, battled his demons, and became a legend. Anthony Hopkins was born on December 31st, 1937, in the small town of Margam, Wales. His parents, Muriel and Richard Hopkins, ran a bakery, and young Anthony grew up in a modest, hardworking environment. From an early age, he showed a keen interest in the arts, particularly music. He dreamed of becoming a professional pianist and spent hours practicing, honing his craft. At school, Hopkins was a quiet, shy boy who preferred solitude. Music became his escape and a way to express himself. He often played the piano for his family and friends, dreaming of one day performing on grand stages. However, at 18, his life took an unexpected turn. After stumbling upon a local drama club performance, he was so captivated that he decided to try acting. This marked the beginning of a new chapter in his life. He enrolled at the Cardiff College of Music and Drama, where he began studying acting. His teachers immediately noticed his charisma and ability to transform into different characters. Later, Hopkins continued his training at the prestigious Royal Academy of Dramatic Art, RADA, in London. This was a pivotal step in his career, as it exposed him to classical theater and allowed him to work with some of the best directors in the industry. Imagine dreaming of performing at Carnegie Hall, but ending up on stage performing Shakespeare. That's exactly how Hopkins' career began. By the way, he still plays the piano and even composes music. His love for music has stayed with him throughout his life, and he often says it helps him in his acting. For instance, he used musical rhythms to create Hannibal Lecter's unique speech pattern. After graduating from RADA, Hopkins began his career in theater. His early roles were small, but critics quickly took note of his extraordinary talent. In 1965, he joined the National Theatre in London, where he was mentored by none other than Laurence Olivier. In the 1960s, Hopkins made his film debut with minor roles in British movies. However, his big break came later. During this time, he began struggling with alcoholism. Hopkins admitted that alcohol helped him cope with anxiety and self-doubt, but it eventually started to destroy his life. He often missed rehearsals and lost control of himself. The turning point came in 1975 when he woke up in a hotel room with no memory of how he got there. This was the wake-up call he needed. Hopkins quit drinking entirely and devoted himself to his craft. Many people think Hollywood stars live glamorous, carefree lives. But Hopkins' story shows that even the greatest actors face serious challenges. His battle with alcoholism is a testament to the power of resilience. Not only did he overcome his addiction, but he also channeled his experiences into creating deeply emotional and authentic characters. For example, his role in The Edge, 1997, was inspired by his own struggles. The role of Hannibal Lecter in The Silence of the Lambs, 1991, became iconic. Hopkins' portrayal was so chilling that audiences still shudder at the mention of his name. Hopkins appeared on screen for only 16 minutes, but that was enough to earn him an Oscar. His character became one of the most memorable villains in film history. His improvisations, like the infamous Chianti and fava beans scene, made the character even more terrifying. Hopkins revealed that he drew inspiration from studying animals, particularly reptiles. After The Silence of the Lambs, Hopkins feared being typecast as Hannibal Lecter. To avoid this, he immediately took on the role of Professor Van Helsing in Bram Stoker's Dracula, 1992. Hopkins once said that Lecter was his most challenging and beloved role, but he was also afraid it would define him forever. To prove his versatility, he jumped into Dracula right after. He even joked that he ate Lecter to move on to new roles. Hopkins has been married 3 times, but admits that he has always valued solitude. His quotes about life and art have become timeless aphorisms. His first marriage to Petronella Barker lasted 5 years. They have a daughter, Abigail, but Hopkins is no longer in contact with her. He explains that they simply grew apart. His second marriage to Jennifer Linton also ended in divorce. Hopkins acknowledged that his career and constant filming contributed to their separation. He has been married to Colombian actress Stella Arroyo for over 18 years. She has been his rock, especially during difficult times. I now have a sober view of life and no longer harbor any illusions. At our core, we are nothing, and we always have been. Hopkins often says that solitude is his choice. He values silence and the ability to focus on his craft. Perhaps this is what has allowed him to create such profound and unforgettable roles. His philosophy is simple: be honest with yourself and embrace change. As he once said, "I'm not afraid of death. I'm only afraid of not accomplishing everything I've set out to do." Anthony Hopkins is more than just Hannibal Lecter. He is an actor who overcame his weaknesses, reinvented himself, and became a global icon. His story is inspiring. It shows that even the biggest dreams can change, and challenges are merely stepping stones to success. Hopkins proved that talent, perseverance, and a willingness to evolve can lead to extraordinary achievements. Anthony Hopkins' journey from a dreamy boy in Wales to one of the most respected actors in the world is a testament to the power of resilience and reinvention. His life reminds us that greatness often comes from overcoming adversity. What do you think is Hopkins' most memorable role? Share your thoughts in the comments, like this video, and subscribe to the channel for more stories about cinematic legends. What do you believe is more important for success, talent, or perseverance? And which Anthony Hopkins film is your favorite?